What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So today when it came to SPY, I did not do a single thing. Price action on SPY just has been great. I've been focusing my time towards individual stocks and we've been killing it over there. Today was a textbook day, swinging some names and taking our trims off of some positions that we had and then taking some new ones as well. So I'm just going to go over SPY briefly here. Pretty simple, 30-minute time frame. This is what we looked like today if this chart will load. Neutral market, 10 SMA here, below the 50, neutral market here. This is on the call side. If we flip to the put side, same thing, 10 SMA below the 50, we're neutral there. So there's no trend in the market, which means there's not going to be any really crazy moves, and most likely there's not going to be crazy moves, but we're just going to be looking for a 0DT cross today. I think we ended up getting one, but I just didn't like how the action's been and how it was going in the morning, and I just didn't take anything. I mean, on the put side here, or on the call side, obviously there was nothing. And if we go to the put side, there was this little cross that almost ended up happening. Actually, I think this is the wrong chart. My bad. If we look here on the, what is this? This is on the call side. So yeah, there was no cross on the call side today. And if we go to the put side here, we had this put cross. It was so explosive, and then by the time this actually crossed, 50 was down, so there's no entry to take there. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything in SPY. We're a neutral market. I'm not going to force some trades on SPY, especially we're neutral, especially when it's December. Price action usually isn't the best. It's quarter 4, so there's got to be a really, really good setup for me to take it. And if there's, if we don't get our setup, if we don't get a really good looking setup, I'm just not going to take it, and I'm going to be focusing on individual stocks. That's what I've been doing the last couple days, and it's been going really well. Swinging individual names has been very easy. I just feel this is just kind of the ultimate cheat code when it comes to trading, just swinging on like the higher time frames and just letting things ride, and it's very stress free. So this is what we actually end up taking. I'm gonna go over some system plays first. One of them was Apple. I think I mentioned that I was swinging some yesterday. I ended up getting stopped out on this, so pull up Apple real quick here, 30-minute time frame. So at the close yesterday, you can see we end up bouncing right off this 50 SMA, or we hit the 50. That's where I added a swing, and then obviously we broke below the 50. I ended up getting stopped out of this for like 37%. So that was a loss we did end up taking. I did like it though. I mean, it was the first dip to the 50 in the trend that we had going after we crossed here. And then if we look on the 1 hour, we were sitting at the 1 hour 50, same with the 2 hour, and then same with the 4 hour as well. So those just ended up giving out, and we took a loss on this name, or on this trade. And yeah, I mean, it'll happen. I ended up holding this just a little bit longer than I typically would. I would have taken 37%. The only reason I did was because of these higher time frames. I was going to give it a little bit extra time to see if we would get that bounce off the 50. Never ended up happening, so ended up closing it for 37%, and that was that. So yeah, Apple didn't end up working out for us. And then I think, was that the last system trade we ended up taking? I think it was. I don't think there was any other names that we took that were system related. Let me check. Oh yeah, Nvidia I ended up taking today as well. So if we pull up Nvidia, this actually didn't end up playing out either. So I feel like it probably will end up playing out going into tomorrow, but we're just going to see how we open up and see what contracts we get. So I think it was the 180 calls. So yeah, 180 calls on Nvidia. I was pretty much, this is not the right expiration, is it? Actually, no, I think it is. Yeah, so we ended up getting this cross here. I added at this 50 SMA pretty much, and yeah, we started to break below it. We came back above. I was in profit a little bit, and then we came back down. We closed below the 50, and then on this candle down here, I ended up closing it right around, I think these contracts were at 320. This was, what loss did I take on this? Probably around like 30% as well, or 27, 30%, something like that. These were expirations for tomorrow. Reason being, I was going to look for at least like 80 to 90% on these if we did get that move, just because they're going to be 0DT contracts tomorrow. So if we do get the move on Nvidia, the contracts are going to go crazy. 100% is a really conservative trim, in my opinion, on 0DTs for like individual names. So yeah, we ended up taking, I think, the 190s, or no, the 185s for tomorrow. Ended up getting stopped out on this, and then it got this nasty wick up into the close. So it still looks good going into tomorrow. It just depends on how we open. I mean, we're gonna be getting new contracts tomorrow. It's gonna be Friday, so it's most likely gonna be like the 190s right here. So if it is the 190s, I mean, these don't look too great as like also. So it's going to have a gap up pretty much for this to look pretty good. But I mean, I don't really care that we end up getting stopped. This next week chart doesn't look too good on it. So if we do get an entry tomorrow, I'll take it. If we could get back above that 10, the 50 SMA, I'll take an entry. If not, then I'm not going to touch NVIDIA again. But yeah, those were the 2 losses we end up taking. So we took like probably 30% L's or 37% and then like a 30% on NVIDIA, right around 30%. If we look here though, go to the individual names, this is what happened. So if you guys remember from yesterday, RR we ended up taking. I mean, the last 2 days this thing has went crazy. I mean, this has been such a good swing. I think we're up like 175% on the swing. Very, very textbook trade. I end up trimming a good chunk today for like a little bit over 100% on them. End up taking some good trims there. And I'm going to see when we end up taking some trims on this. Yeah, so like right off of open today, we had a little bit of a gap up, I think, off of open. Where's the 930 candle? Yeah, so right off of open here, I ended up getting some more trims off. I was up, I think, how much were we up? I don't even know. Let me see. What did I put in the channel? I don't even think I updated that. So let's see on the swings. Do we have today in here? No. So yesterday we trimmed half for 65%. And then today, I'm pretty sure off of open, these were sitting up over 100%. So we took some trims there. And I still have some runners going into tomorrow. And we're just going to let these ride out. I mean, I'm out majority. I mean, the contracts got up to 175%. I grabbed 2 sets of them. It was the 8 call and the 11 call for 320.26. So these contracts were so far out, and we're still able to capitalize on a massive winner. And yeah, if you just look at this daily time frame, I mean, it's just super clean. Once you see this setup and you start to learn it, it gets really repetitive on the setup that you're going to be taking in your entry. I mean, if we just remove everything off the chart, it's very simple. You can see just by looking at the chart down in here, you can see the kind of setup that it's making. I mean, it doesn't matter how you draw it. You could draw it like this. I mean, you could draw it like this, something like this. Like I said yesterday when I went over these, I mean, it does not matter really how you draw it. I mean, you could literally draw it like this too. It really does not matter how you're drawing the trend line. It's just that's not the part we're really looking at for our entry. It's that previous day's break of the high for our entry. And I'm getting that yesterday right here. Broke above the high, and then I used the 5 minute here to get my entry point. And I already went over this yesterday, but I'll just do it again. We got the candle closure above here with volume. I didn't actually get in on this. I waited for a little bit of a pullback during this candle I got in. So this is my entry here. This candle ended up closing nice on super high volume. Good sign there. Got our entry, and then we just ended up holding this all the way up into yesterday and then today. I mean, just straight vertical shot. I think the stock's up like 20% since yesterday. If you look on the daily time frame here, we pretty much entered while the stock was actually red on the day. So we have a 18% up day yesterday. 8.77% update today. At peak, I think it was up like 14%. So really good day on RR. That was a really good swing we ended up taking. And then I ended up closing a swing for a loss. This was WEN. It was kind of not the I mean, no, it was a good looking setup. It still looks good, I guess. I mean, we kind of have this little trend line break right here. I mean, I could have continued to hold it. I just didn't like kind of the price action that was going on. Today it was just very slow, not really seeing much continuation, so I just cut it. It came back down under that entry point that I had. I was down like 13%, so super small loss, but pretty much you can just see it right here. Little trend line entry, just draw it like this, something like that, doesn't matter. Entered on this high day break yesterday, or not yesterday, on Monday or Tuesday, and then we saw a little bit of a move up. I was up probably 25-30%, then we came back down, came back up, came back down. So not moving too much. Chart still looks good. I mean, I don't know what the volume looks like here intraday. I mean, it's still, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good still. You can see we bounced right off the trend line. But yeah, I did end up cutting that. But that's completely fine. Small loser on that. Next one, banger right here, RGTI. This is such a good setup. RGTI. Super clean. I mean, this had no drawdown on this trade. As soon as I entered, that was the bottom. There was literally no drawdown on this trade whatsoever, and it's the same setup. I mean, look at this chart. You could just see it. I'm going to remove the drawings. You can just see what's going on right in this area. We had this little trend line going on, little consolidation. Stock's getting pretty tight right here, and we draw the trend line like this, and what do you know? We got this high day break right here on RGTI, right above here. break of the high, I got a little bit of a late entry on this because I think I didn't see it until I called it out. So what do we got here? 10-10, we end up entering this. So right here, this candle closure isn't too much. I mean, there really wasn't much volume over that high, and then it just kind of died off on the volume. And then where did we enter? I entered right here. So pretty much as volume was picking up, that's where I entered. I entered like right on the open of this candle, and you can see what happened. I mean, literally entered 10-10 right here, and we never came back down to that entry point. $26 all the way up to 30.22. I mean, what is that? That's over a 10% move on the stock right there. And those were up like 70% at the close. Ended up taking some good trims, only down to small runners on that. But again, it's the same type of setup. It happened on so many individual names. If we look at like QBTS or QUBT, I forget which one, but same type of setup. I gave this in the Discord. Really nice name. And yeah, I'm gonna remove those drawings because I could literally see it as soon as we get it. I mean, look, it's super clean. You can see what's happening. Price comes down here, this area. It's kind of just chopping around, going sideways, and then we break out. So again, trend line doesn't matter how you draw it. You could literally draw it from up here. You could draw it from right here, draw it all the way down here. It doesn't matter. We're playing this high day break right here on this previous day high, and you can see usually before a breakout we have a super thin candle, lower volume, and then next following day breaks above the high on some decent volume. That volume wasn't anything crazy, but compared to the last few days, it was, you know, above the last like couple red days there, small green day. But you could play this previous day high break, and look what happened. I mean, I didn't take this. I was already in some positions, but I shared in the Discord that this was a nice looking name. And then same thing I think with QBTS, I think it is. All this I think is like similar industry. Yeah, I mean, look it's the same thing. Every single stock chart is pretty much the same. But look at this. We have this little trend line break going. You could enter on this previous high day, or you could have taken this one. Doesn't really matter. You know, we break above this high, take your entry. Look at the next following days. I mean, this 11%, 14. That's like 30% almost in 2 days. I mean, like, it doesn't get easier than that. Score it on the 5-minute. Look for your entry point on the break of the high in volume. Right. I mean, okay, we didn't close above right there, so your entry would be right on this candle. I mean, there's not too much volume on this. If you wanted to wait, you could have waited for some volume to come in. It wasn't super high or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, volume came pouring in at the open today. You could see. I mean, look at this volume. This is insane volume, and obviously we end up ripping higher. So, you know, the volume thing. It's good to see high volume. You want to see high volume over the breaks. Like right here, I mean, there's massive volume on this candle, and then it kind of pulled back probably to the moving averages if you have them on your chart, and then, you know, got the break above the high. You could have entered there, and then your stop loss just put at the low day, or, you know, depending on where that low day is and what contracts you take, that could kind of change what your stop loss is on the trade and how much you're willing to risk. Obviously, if you're playing like next day's expiration, very high risk, so I'd keep stops a little bit tighter, but I usually go a few weeks out when I'm taking these types of trades. But again, it's just super simple. I love, you know, trading like this. I've been doing this the last couple months, and I just feel like when it comes to individual names, it's pretty easy to see. I'm not really drawing any support in the resistance lines. I don't really care to. It's just playing, you know, previous day high break, and it's super simple. Like, I don't really care about drawing levels on a chart. I don't need them. I just look for the high of day break after, you know, stocks moving sideways. And yeah, and I was actually eyeing the stock up for a while back up in here, but we never got an entry point. You can see it's the same type of setup, but we didn't, you know, get a high day break entry. So, you know, something like this, we never got the break above a high that we could have entered off of. Like, we had this candle right here that ended up wicking. I mean, I wouldn't play this high day break, just wouldn't make sense to, because it's still, you know, pretty far from the trend line. It is a nice volume day, but that's not enough kind of, you know, I'd want to see like this kind of high day break. Like, if this candle, okay, we closed right here this day, I want to see this candle go up, break the high, and break out, but we never got it. And this was the period where the market, I think, was starting to drop too. So, you know, you kind of got to recognize when SPY and, you know, QQQ are getting weak and the market's kind of turning around and reversing, and that's kind of where I stayed away out of the breakouts. Like, I didn't take any breakout trades, I think, in November, just because of that reason. SPY was just like tanking the bed. So, yeah, you could see it. You could see this play out all the way back in here. Same thing on QBTS. You can see this little trend line we had. my thing on. It's messing it up, but you could either play this high day break or this one. Really doesn't matter at this point. And you see the move. I mean, it's very clean. You could probably come back here and see it a million times. And again, it's very, very simple. I mean, you have this break right here. It's going to draw it like that. Break above this high. Gapped up a little bit, so you could have got the entry pretty much right off open, and then it continued higher. And then we took open today. Really nice setup again. This one was a bit further away from the trend line, but I liked how I liked how yesterday's candle was right here, super thin. Usually, if we have a super thin candle and then it's looking to set up to break out, usually breaks out over that high, and we see a nice volume day, which exactly had happened today. And that's all I did. We played this break of the previous day high on open, and we got a nice move out of it. So we took our entry somewhere, I think, on this candle. Where did we enter at? Let me check the Discord. Open 1109. So if we look at open, it was actually after the breakout. So it was actually up in this area, right up in here. So again, minimal drawdown on this. I mean, right up in this area, we took the entry during this candle. And you can see, okay, it pulled back like, what, not even 10 cents, and then we ended up ripping the rest of the day. So open, really good trade, was up 50%, took half off, and just riding the rest into tomorrow. See if this could get above this day's high, or today's high day, breakout to the upside, targeting probably these previous highs at like $9.43, like $9 will probably be the next target, but yeah, open, really clean setup, and those were all the trades we end up taking. It's just super simple setups, and you can just see the kind of setup that's forming on the bigger picture here. I mean, look at this. We have this trend line going right here. It'd be great if we could, break out of this and just see a, next leg up and get new highs on this thing, new all-time highs. That'd be great. I mean, we go all the way up to $11. That'd be pretty textbook. It's getting very, very tight right here. Volume is kind of just dying off and starting to pick back up right here. Died off, picking back up now. Wonder if we go test that upper area of that trend line, and maybe we get a break, maybe we don't, but by then we'll already be deep in profit. So yeah, that's what we did today. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. Game plan for SPY tomorrow, we're still neutral, so just 0 DT cross either side. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be taking any SPY plays tomorrow, but if we do, it's just going to be a simple 5-minute cross. It's got to look really good for me to take it. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.